Hi guys, so how are you? I'm Cyprian and you are watching the Northern Long Haul channel, yeah? All about trucking in North America. I'm a European guy that came in North America to do some trucking, yeah? So today I'm in Laredo, Texas, waiting for a load. Today is Friday, the load will going to be tomorrow, and I was thinking to speak to tell you what I was taught and what I saw with my own eyes on the logbook. So many drivers, they are thinking that they can cheat a little bit the logbook, the hours of service, by unplugging the logbook, yeah? So when you are driving and you don't have much time, what you have to do in Europe and here is the same. You have to look for a parking spot, yeah, where to spend your night or to have your daily break. If it happens and it caught you with your pants down, don't pull the plug. Put it on personal, do something, write something in there. But what happens when you're going to pull the plug from the logbook? Not many drivers know, as I saw here, because loads of them told me you can pull the plug, yeah. I saw it with my own eyes when I looked at the logbook after I did something like that. And what happens behind? Actually, you're not going to see anything on your logbook when you are looking. I'm using the Motive app for the logbook, yeah. So it's Motive, and after you're not going to see any violation, nothing. But if you're going to put the logbook on inspection mode, what they are going to see there? They will going to see that yesterday, let's say that you pulled the logbook connection, yeah. Don't pull it. What they're going to see that you stopped, and when you stopped, you had that many miles, 1,100 miles on your odometer, yeah. And the day after that, the next day, when you started your day, you had 1,157 miles. So, and you'll have some errors on your logbook, and those errors will going to tell the DOT officer or the officer that will going to inspect you that you did something wrong with your hours of service. So it will be a difference in miles from ending the day before, when you ended the day, and the next day you'll have some more miles. That will be one of the errors that they are going to see, and they are going to see that you unplugged the logbook. There is an error, I don't remember now the code, that they are going to, that error means that your logbook was out of power. It was shut down, the power connection, something like that. So what I'm trying to say, because I see the loads of drivers that they are driving in North America, then they don't know actually what happens behind the scene, yeah, behind your logbook. And when you're going to have an inspection and you're going to put your logbook on inspection mode and you're going to hand the logbooks to the officer, to the DOT officer, they are going to see everything that you did. So, in other words, don't cheat. If you don't have hours anymore, stop. Find the parking spot earlier and don't try to overdrive your hours of service, because that's illegal, and that's why they are like that. Yeah, they are regulated because you are not supposed to drive more than 11 hours in the US and more than 13 hours in Canada. That's the difference. The shift, the hours of shift are the same in both countries. 14 hours in Canada, 14 hours in the US. The difference that I see and I don't like, it's that in Canada the minimal rest period for break it's 8 hours, but on 24-hour schedule you'll have to have at least 10 hours accumulated. So that's a little annoying, because in the US that doesn't matter. Actually, you have to have 10 hours of break, and after 10 hours you'll be able to drive another 11. Yeah. So what I tried and why I made this video is to tell you to tell the drivers that they are just beginning the work as a truck driver, because the old ones for sure they know, but not many of them. If you know, or if you think that I'm not right about what I said, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you like my content, and if you want to help the channel grow and to see more videos like this. Because I was thinking to do a video like this. Actually, I had some screenshots from my logs, but I don't know what I did and I lost them, to show you actually what happens behind, and how an officer that will want to search you properly will going to find a violation that doesn't appear actually with red on your logbook. So if you have to do it, don't. That's what I will tell you to do. Don't do it, because they are regulated, because they understood that you can't drive more or it's not safe. Although sometimes that's against you. That's against your daily salary, your monthly salary. For example, a couple of days ago I started at 4:30 in the morning, and I had to stop when I had to stop. After 14 hours, yeah? Around 6 I had to have 6:30. At that hour it was the maximum window shift that I was able to drive. But when I stopped at that hour, it was light outside. I wasn't that tired, although I drove all day. I drove 1,100 miles. But still, I could drive more. I could drive at least until 8 or 9 p.m. And then I will have my rest normally, like a normal people. They are making you go to bed when you are not tired. Yeah, this is what happens. And what happens in that situation is that you're not going to have the needed rest for yourself, for your body, for yourself. You are not going to fall asleep at that hour, and after 10 hours of sleep you can start again. And what you're going to do, you're going to lose time or start again, yeah. And actually you're not going to be the rest, it will not going to be enough, because you didn't sleep. So if some people that they are DOT officers, or they are regulating these hours of service, if they, I don't know from which miracle they're going to watch this video, please think about that. Because sometimes the hours of service, they are working against the driver, and they are working against the safety and the safetiness of US roads. Yeah, tired drivers will going to be behind the wheel, and they will going to be okay hours of service wise. So they did their break, they didn't overdrive, and still they are tired because they have to go to bed when the logbook says so, although they are not feeling that they are tired and like they don't feel like sleeping. So, but what we can do in this situation? We have to respect the legislation and find a solution to avoid being tired on the road and drive as much as we can, if we have what to drive for. Yeah. So the next video I'm going to make, it will be about English language proficiency. Yeah, I'm going to search for some data because I heard that they started to implement this legislation, and they stopped the drivers. Some of them they were put out of service, and some of them not, because why? You're going to see in the next video why. So although you don't know how to speak English or to read or what they are going to put you in the wait station to do to test your English proficiency, in some cases, even though you don't know English, no English, nada, nothing, you're not going to be put out of service. So stay with me, subscribe, like, and press the notification bell to know when I'm going to post the video about English language proficiency and what does it mean for the industry. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to have some data and we're going to speak about that. Take care, stay safe, bye bye.